Mrs. Rajashri Sai gained a unique perspective and exposure to international cultures since she spent the majority of her youth in several countries. Her 14-year education was spread across 12 different schools. She returned to India from the Gulf in 2004. She had a very inspired nature from the start and wanted to make a difference in the lives of others around her. She was quite articulate and outspoken. During her graduating years, she volunteered with a number of non-governmental organizations, NGOs. She toured throughout India and worked with Aruna Roy ji and her crew. Mrs. Rajashri Sai was involved in social causes such as the RTI Act and Manrega projects. She was fortunate to have good mentors at various stages in her life. She has also led vocal campaigns against child labor. Her social activities carried her to every part of the country. Her experience convinced her that even a single person can effect large-scale change. This cognitive pattern became ingrained in her head. She joined Bhumi and participated in an orphan child education program. This encounter provided her with valuable insight into the country's educational landscape. All of this she did in addition to her studies. She holds a bachelor's degree in business economics, a master's degree in law, has completed the company secretary program and has recently completed her postgraduate executive management program from the Indian Institute of Management in Kozhikode. Mrs. Rajashri Sai spent nearly 2 years working in a couple of corporations. She had a distinct purpose in life. She was restless and eager to do something on her own.
Stability is really a myth. Life is really a long journey where you're going to be going up and down constantly in this roller coaster. Sometimes you just need to shut the voice in your head and really take the plunge. Because honestly, no matter how much you plan, when you become an entrepreneur or you decide to do something on your own, or you choose to be an intrapreneur in your own organization, the plunge is always going to be hard.
Mrs. Rajashri Sai took part in Jagriti Yatra, a young enterprise development program. She was on the road to entrepreneurship after completing the program. Mrs. Rajashri Sai founded Zuppa Navigation Zeo Systems with her father and they were financially successful within a few years. She subsequently transferred operations to her brother and became an advisor. She was looking for the next business opportunity. In the meantime, she was called to head a program to create a network of 1,000 women entrepreneurs by Mrs. Prema Gopalan of Swayam Shikshan Prayog. This exposure sowed the foundations for the next entrepreneurial venture, Impactree Data Technologies Private Limited.
Focus at impacting about 5 million people by 2027. At the core, how we aim at doing it is to really build our sustainability intelligence engine, which allows for both corporates as well as communities to build programs that matter to each other. Programs that at the end have better positive livelihood outcomes, at the same time are sustainable such that corporates can integrate them into their business function verticals and scale. That we see is critical to building the enterprises of tomorrow, which really focus on people, planet and growth at the same time.
This is a venture with her husband Vivek. Impactree's clients are all NGOs and social entrepreneurs. Impactree provides tailored technology-enabled solutions with real-time data monitoring. She hopes to use this as a platform to touch 5 million lives by 2025. She was born with a rebellious streak. She deliberately switched from activism to development mode. Mrs. Rajashri Sai channelized and steered her life in the correct direction, and she is now on the way to make a difference to this society.